And welcome back to part 14. I've got a bit of a headache today. Not enough that I can't do the video, but just like enough that it's there and annoying. So if I seem to meander in a way that doesn't seem to make sense, that's probably why. Back to part 14 of What If Naruto was a full Uzumaki with Adamantine chains. So last time they dealt with Gaara, Datara. Datara did make it out alive, which is good for Datara. Barely, but he did it. Sasori got completely and utterly scrapped, though. And the difference here, as a lot of people have pointed out, is that I pointed out in the past that because Sasuke's in the village, there's no real reason for Sasori to give up the information about Orochimaru. Plus, Orochimaru pretty much ambushed them on the way back. But they were able to one-up Orochimaru, and now Orochimaru's pissed. He's also down Tayuya, Kidomaru. He only has... Oh, and Jirobo. He only has Kimimaro, Edo Tensei, and Saka and Ukon left. So he's definitely pissed, and he'll be away from the story for a little bit. Maybe by the end of this. I haven't actually decided yet. But we catch up to after the fact. Everyone's actually fine. Kakashi may have even had to use, say, Kamui at least once in the fight. Like, maybe once he showed up to Orochimaru to help Sasuke, he had his Mangekyo activated ready, and even Orochimaru could see it. It was even more pissed. Kakashi, damn you! Real quick, there was a little confusion, apparently, in the last episode. I wasn't saying that Orochimaru would take an Edo Tensei body, and that the ability to translate that. I was talking about how, from a previous conversation, Edo Tensei allows his soul to not reincarnate, but take a new body. But everything he's learned, including biological material, translates over to the new body. It becomes his body. So that's what I was trying to get at. Although it does raise the question of, could Edo Tensei or his rebirth technique work if he took over the body of an Edo Tensei? My immediate thought on that would probably be no. Because it's not a living body at that point anymore, and I think he needs a living body to use the rebirth technique. Because honestly, if it could work, mind you, being the optimal word, then yeah, just bring out an Edo Tensei, take over every Edo Tensei body, and then literally all the Hokage bodies are his. It would be the easiest way to use that technique. So it's clear it doesn't work with Edo Tensei. Point being, though, they get back to the village. They relay what happened to everyone. Tsunade, patches up Kakashi, who's maybe a little injured, maybe a little tired, probably had to use Kamui at least once, so he's bedridden for a day or two, not too long. Sasuke is definitely recovering from some injuries, but everyone is generally fine. Great, wonderful. They go about their days. They don't need to find new teammates, but Naruto ends up running into Team 8, which includes Kiba first. Includes Shino first. Naruto, sensing the chakra, is like, Shino, it's you! Naruto, it's good to see you. Oh, man, you're lucky I was able to sense your chakra. I almost didn't recognize you under all that outfit. It's like, really? Really, you wouldn't be able to recognize me even after all this time? To which Shino, seriously, stop gaslighting people in that scene. My God, was he gaslighting everyone? Was gaslighting Naruto so fucking hard in that scene. Like, dude, you're probably acquaintances with Naruto. You really weren't friends with Naruto. Let's be honest. The fact is, yeah. We as the viewer probably recognize you, but a casual individual who hasn't been spending enough time around you probably wouldn't. Especially Naruto, who's not always the most observant. So, yeah, dude, get off your high horse. You recognize Kiba immediately, too. Oh, shut up. But anyway, hey, Naruto! Hey, Kiba! What? Is that Akamaru? He's huge! Really? I haven't noticed. You can't use around in your head. To which then he hears that, yeep! But instead of Churugan saying nothing, he does see Hinata there. Now, Hinata, obviously, and her and Naruto have had some nice little moments, and she even gave him a goodbye kiss. So she's gotten at least confident enough to not just hide behind the corner. Naruto. So Hinata, and he finally is able to register Hinata. Yeah, and both their brains aren't really computing like Naruto. Also, Side note, I actually like the idea that Naruto's hair looks a little bit more like Minato's, a little shaggier, a little sideburny, because I think the red hair would look really good with that look. And she sees, is like, he looks so manly. And it's like, and Naruto's just kind of, his brain's kind of shutting down a little bit. He's like, she's gotten really hot. Like, he always probably found her attractive. That's the thing. Naruto says he always thought she was weird, but that didn't mean he didn't find her attractive or cute, or at least he probably never found her ugly. So, yeah, now Naruto's like, whoa. They're just like that little just loading screen in between them. Say, hey, Earth Hinata, Naruto. But hi, Hinata. Wow, you really, you look great. I was like, you look good too. So it's an awkward little meeting, but it's cute and adorable, and everyone's kind of smiling. Meanwhile, now here's the thing: is Shizune an aide to Kushina here? Remember, Kushina's Hokage, not Tsunade. I wouldn't be surprised if she at least looked towards her with some guidance occasionally, but legitimately, she'd probably ask Tsunade over Shizune, to be fair. And she does have Sarutobi as one of her aides. And so, because we know it's Shizune who went behind Tsunade's back in the original, here, I don't think that happens. I don't think the elders, and that includes, obviously, Sarutobi. Definitely Sarutobi wouldn't be getting involved with this. He'd definitely be pushing against it. Are going to give Kushina any flack for sending Naruto out into the world. Though at least not in the same level they gave Tsunade, because again, Shizune didn't report them. No one reported them. They're probably just aware of the fact that Kushina sent Naruto out, and maybe they bring something up. But if they bring something up, it's just going to be concern more than anything else, because Kushina is the Hokage and his mother, and they're the last two Uzumaki. So actually, to be fair, that does give them an avenue for maybe bitching a bit more to her about it, because there's only two Uzumaki left that we know of. You're the only two Uzumaki in the village. We need to be careful with how we treat Naruto. Him also being in Jinchuriki, which Kushina would just fire back. But you're okay with sending Uchiha out, even though he's the last known Uchiha. Or you're okay with sending Sasuke out, even though he's the last known Uchiha. Last Uchiha in the village, and Orochimaru literally just tried to go after them originally, and yet earlier, even though they were able to fight him off. You're okay with that, but my son, that's where you draw the line. Is that right? And immediately Sarutobi is like, Sarutobi probably backs her up, and it's like, yeah, don't hypocrite where I'm hypocriting. Come on. And so Danzo is not going to be able to put a member of Root onto the team. He's not going to be able to have his way on Team Naruto. And so time moves forward a bit. I would say Sasuke and Sakura probably are, at the very minimum, close to dating, if not dating. Like, enough time has passed. Sakura's grown actually very strong. Sasuke respects that about her, that she actually took the time and effort to actually grow in strength. And they eventually I could totally see a flashback when Naruto finds out, well, you guys are actually dating, and flashback of where Sakura and him are training. Sasuke's, I'm impressed, Sakura. So, and he's getting ready for what you used to do, asking, hey, when this is over, you want to get a bite to eat, or want to go have a date or something? But you go, all right, I'll see you later. It's like, Sakura, not that I'm necessarily complaining or anything like that, but not that I see anything wrong, or I don't know. Not that it's any of my concern, but you haven't really asked me out lately. Is there something wrong? It's like, to which Sakura notes that, and she kind of was like, oh. It's like, why? And she actually maybe throws back, do you want me to ask you out? To which Sasuke's like, well, I'm just, Sasuke sidesteps the question, because actually kind of was looking forward to, because he's actually grown to really like Sakura now, like as a person, because she's actually taking herself seriously. And to which Sakura kind of was like, I'm joking. Just kidding. No, I just came to understand how annoying that kind of might be. Honestly, I wasn't taking myself seriously enough back in the day, and I know you. If you're going to be attracted, if you want to go out with someone, you want to go out with someone who takes their career as a ninja seriously. So I'm not going to ask you out again until I feel I'm ready, strong enough to be worthy of you, something like that. To which Sasuke looks at her, and she's about to turn around and say, "Sakura, you want to go get something to eat?" To which she blushes. And so that I could totally see something like that happening. That would be a very realistic way for that for their relationship to actually happen too. Uh, that makes sense because that's what Sasuke appreciates in a person, particularly it, particularly in his true love Naruto. But yeah, I could totally see that him seeing that in Sakura, and so they're probably out in a day. They're probably all having a good time. So there's your slice of life. But unfortunately, the news at Team 10 happens where Azuma has passed away and Naruto and they're all just overwhelmed, flabbergasted by this. Now, this is interesting because we know in the original Naruto was taking his time to master Winjutsu and make the Wind Rasen Shuriken, or Wind Style Rasengan. Here, he's got all that down. I don't see him really trying to train towards anything. I see him maybe practicing more with Sage Mode, trying to train a little bit with Kurama's chakra, but really can only go up to 3 tails before it starts to get dangerous. Beyond that, though, Kakuzu and Hidan, that is a very real question we have to ask ourselves on how that plays out. Does Team 7 come and aid them? We know Kakashi went to aid them, so I actually think that would be the case. It goes about the same initially. Should know, because Kakashi has been training Sasuke, he's probably a little stronger here too. Like, if we're just using arbitrary numbers, if Kakashi is a power level of 100, let's just say, he's more like 120 instead here. Because he's probably got an extra training with chakra, probably brushed up on his physicality. I mean, the Shippuden era is arguably peak Kakashi, but it's debatable, because technically Jiraiya's peak was when we met him. And he was in his 50s. Again, beware old men who are in a profession where men die young. Yeah, don't screw an old man who is in a profession where men die young. So yeah, Jiraiya was arguably at his peak in his 50s. So Kakashi technically hasn't even peaked. And even though he lost his Sharingan, so he doesn't have Kamui or anything like that, he has access to all the jutsu he copied. And no joke, I think it's stated that his chakra reserves multiplied 10 to 20 times because of how much chakra drain the Sharingan had on him. And he had an actual decent amount during the Ninja War. So Kakashi, arguably peak Kakashi, is in the Boruto era where he's in his 40s at that point. So yeah. Anyway, I digress. So I told you I might meander a bit. So eventually Team 7 appears to fight Kakuzu. And basically they rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to be the one to take him on. And I do think it's Naruto who wins. He shows off, he goes into Sage Mode and just got you nine tails, and just throws a Rasen Shuriken and pretty much just obliterates him with it. So that's quick and easy. We're only at 13 minutes here right now, 14 minutes. So after the fact, we get to the real meat of what this is going to be, the Itachi part of it. Now, Orochimaru still is keeping an eye on everything going on right now. And unfortunately, he reached his limit where he had to take a new body. And unfortunately, he was so pissed off, he probably ended up taking Sakon and Ukon at that point. Now, that's actually an interesting question. Could he take Sakon and Ukon's body if they're merged together? That's 2 souls in one. That's a very interesting question. One of them, easy. They're not strong enough to fight him. Neither one of them is strong enough to fight him. But both of them at the same time? I didn't really consider that. Still, though, I could still see him taking... let's just say he's able to take them both. Because he's pissed and he's just going to flat out take their ability as it is. Now, granted, we also know that through experimentation, Kabuto gained pretty much all the abilities of the Sound Force, Suigetsu, Uzumaki Vitality. Um, yeah, so we know it's nowhere near impossible to do, even without the body swapping, but he just needs a body. So he takes that body. Meanwhile, it's just like, I will have Sasuke will be mine. They will take the boys' bodies. Kabuto, continue the treatment. And so he's basically experimenting with all their abilities. So meanwhile, as I always kind of imply, I always like the idea of Itachi sending the crow message to um, Sasuke in the middle of the night while Sasuke may be outside of his compound. Again, I've always, to go a bit more adult here, they're like 15, 16, which is legal in Japan. Granted, it's also their world, so, young enough to kill, young enough to die, young enough to... But I can always see him just maybe waking up in the middle of the night and Sakura's there in bed. They've had a lovely evening. And he just smiles and he walks out into the, balcony of his, estate, looks out and he sees a crow flying in the sky and it comes down. And it's Itachi sending him a message. And he just, he crushes the mission. But the question is, what does he do? Does he just go out on his own? No. He prepares Sakura, wake up. It's like, well, what is it? It's like, we need to go tell Lady Hokage something. And so he relays the message to him. They've all met up with him. And they're all standing there like, what are we going to do? So what's the plan? Itachi's, we have a chance to finally take Itachi out. And I know this is important to you, Sasuke, but I need to know, can you be impartial about this? To which Sasuke basically, looks on like, I'm not going to lie. I'll be as level-headed as I absolutely can. But he's the one who killed my mother and father. He killed my clan. I can't just not do something about this. And so they work out a game plan. And so, excuse me. And so Sasuke, Naruto, I need to talk to you about something. I talk to you something real quick. And, they whisper about something private. Naruto has not mastered Flying Raijin yet, but I do have a point. I do know when that's going to happen, and actually, it's happening very soon. But she does have this thing. It's a temporary. It's a alteration they made to the technique. You just it's not even though you haven't actually learned the technique yet. So basically, she gives a seal marker, or kunai, like Minato have, but she also gives a specialized one to Naruto. Funnel your chakra into this, and it'll teleport you to the next location. Basically, now someone brought up spoilers for Boruto. If you haven't read Boruto, so there was another person in canon who did have Flying Raijin, and that is Boruto. Boruto does have Flying Raijin. However, his version of Flying Raijin is actually is a much weaker version than Minato's. It's not. He doesn't have seal markers or he doesn't have markers to jump to. He actually goes to he puts his chakra into certain metals and he transports himself there. So that's how his version of Flying Raijin works. It's actually a very weaker version of the technique. Here, that's not the case though. And so Naruto and them, they head out. Obviously, Sasuke goes on his own, but Naruto and them followed suit for all, keeping a certain distance. Obviously, Kisame says, there you are. Yeah, Itachi's waiting for you up ahead, kid. Don't worry, I assume your friends are lingering behind. We're not idiots, kid. Tell me, did you bring the Nine Tails with you too? It's like none of your damn business. Well, good luck, kid. You're gonna need it. But meanwhile, Obito does show up to stall them. He's like, sorry, I can't let you. Sorry, but I can't let you go. I guess leave. Obviously, Sasuke. And I think there's a way that Sasuke can kind of hint at to Naruto when to teleport there. Now, only one person can teleport there, and they have determined it will be Naruto. But they also have teammate there because they got the tracking aspect. They need the tracking aspect to keep in touch with Sasuke. But all teammate and most of Team 7 are stuck with Obito. So Sasuke and Itachi start to have their fight. And Sasuke and him first go Genjutsu to Genjutsu. Sasuke does ultimately win out, although barely. They then go Ninjutsu to Ninjutsu. Now, Sasuke's chakra reserves are probably much higher here than they were in the original. look, legitimately, Sasuke should be actually much stronger than he was in original Shippuden. Even without a curse mark to amp him, he's had way more actual training. His chakra reserves are probably way larger, and he probably has way more techniques under his belt, including Kirin when it eventually gets there. And so then it's so Sasuke, and then finally the Susanoo. Now tell me, Sasuke, is this really all? Is this really all you have left? Damn it! To which Nard he pulls out a Akuda, and Itachi goes, "Akuda, I really? You're never going to be able to pierce me with that." Brother, it's not for piercing. I think the activation is basically sticking in the ground. And Naruto senses it, feels it, activates it. It's like, sorry, but Sasuke needs you, huh? To which Obito looks down and is like, the little, in his head, he's like, the little brat. And so, and it's like, sorry, Sasuke, and sorry, Sasuke, but you're gonna have to do more than. And then Naruto's there, and he probably is in his sage mode. He's probably even got some Kurama chakra activated. It's like Itachi, Naruto, and he looks at this kunai, flying Raijin, especially of your father and your mother. I should have known better. I should have known better. So tell me then, Naruto, what do you plan to do? I'm gonna help take you down. Sasuke, are you all right? I've been better. A little time, kind of worn out here. It's like here, he gives him a soldier pill to help restore some chakra. Makes some shadow clones, throws techniques out. My Yadamir can block any elemental attack, Naruto. You'll have to do better than that. It's like, who says we haven't? Ninja art! Hold on. Chakra Void. Uzumaki art, Chakra Void seal. And it's basically a mass chakra seal. Like it's kind of like how barrier seals, we need people at different angles, and like the Crimson Mausoleum seal I've done. Same thing here, where it's just multiple, but the more you have, the larger the actual seal matrix could be. Itachi sees this, and he sees the Susanoo's quickly fading away. He's doing his best to keep it activated, but there's just nothing. And so, he's fighting me on this. I'm not letting you get away. I'm not letting you go. And Itachi's like, Sasuke comes in. And he's got his sword. He's like, brings up the Susanoo one last time to block Sasuke. Damn it! But the Susanoo finally fades. And finally just kind of kicks the sword and and he just looks down, the sword's piercing him, and even piercing into the ground. And Sasuke and Naruto finally relent. It's just Sasuke. It's like Itachi. And Sasuke's face to face, and it's like, nice, well done, little brother. I'm sorry. No, and he looks at Naruto real quick. Naruto, thank you. thank you for being my brother's brother. And then dies. And Sasuke's like, he got an apology. What the hell is this? Like, seriously, And so, yes, Itachi is dead. Sasuke and Naruto managed to kill him together. I really should have anticipated the Uzumaki's intervention. This was going to make things more difficult. Again, if we're really being technical about this, Obito could have taken Naruto at any time. The people assume that he would have taken Naruto, but slapped chakra cuffs on him, put him in the dimension, whatever. If that were the case, there's nothing that stops Obito from grabbing Naruto early in part 1. Like, except even with Itachi around, there's actually not. And even if you want to make the argument that Itachi being alive prevented him from doing that, okay, what the hell actually stops him from taking Naruto in the Land of Iron? Because I'm sorry, if you watch that panel and watch that scene in the anime, he's clearly sitting there for a good little while before Yamato and Kakashi show up. He could have taken Naruto literally at any point, but he just couldn't. He couldn't because they needed Killer B, and they didn't even have the real Killer B. They figured that out after the fact. And even still, even if they did have the real Killer B and were sealed, it would have taken forever to seal the 8 tails away. So then we know the 9 tails needed to be sealed last. So it's clear there's a reason he didn't take Naruto at that point. He just couldn't. At that point in the war, when he's trying to take Naruto and put him in the dimension, he's got both Naruto and the 8 tails there, and Naruto has been a bit of a pain in his ass. So at this point, he's kind of given up. Be like, okay, I'm just going to keep you in there, and then I'm going to get the 8 tails. Then we're going to do the 8 tails. Then we're going to. That's kind of how it happened. So he's not going to immediately go after him, nor would he immediately be going after Sasuke. Really, in any circumstance before Itachi's gone. He legitimately was worried about Itachi. Even in a weakened state, Itachi was still someone who kind of had his number in some ways. And so Naruto seals the body. They go back to Konan. They go back, meet the group. They bypass Kasame, and all is well until, when they learn of Jiraiya's death and the leader of the Akatsuki is coming for him. Now, Naruto doesn't spend time training in Mount Miyabuku in this version. He stays home. I should note also that Sasuke is dealing with not just the... Naruto's dealing with the loss of Jiraiya. Sasuke's doing the loss with his brother. He also knows about taking his brother's eyes and implanting him in him. And Sasuke, it's later revealed that Sasuke does have his Mangekyo. He dealt with the trauma, and he has his Mangekyo. And Sakura and him are probably, sitting at one point, dealing with the fact that now Jiraiya's gone too. Naruto's in pain, but he's in pain too. And I just don't know how to process all this. Apparently, by taking Itachi's eyes, I will gain enough power to truly be able to change things and be able to surpass him and be better than him. But what he said, that he was grateful to Naruto and that he would apologize, I just don't know. And Sakura just holds him. He's like, yeah, I know it's tough. I can't say I understand, but I'm here for you, whatever decision you make. I promise. And he just kind of exasperated looks, just has a smile and just thanks, and just gives her a kiss. I think it does ultimately resolve in Sasuke going to Lady Hokage. I asked permission for Sasuke's eye, or my brother's eyes, to be implanted into my head, or to have his eyes implanted into me. It's like, you're sure? I was wondering when this was going to come up. You're sure about this, Sasuke? There's no going back if you do this. And Sasuke just like, yes. It's like, Tsunade, Lady Tsunade, will you do the surgery? I'll do it personally myself. And so, because Tsunade does it, I mean, he's probably good to go by the time Pain shows up. Meanwhile, Naruto asks his mom, it's time. I got to master. It's the one thing Dad left us that I haven't mastered yet. It's one of the only two things that Dad left us I haven't mastered yet. And so that's what Naruto spends. That's how Naruto spends his time between Pain invading, or between now and when Pain invades, mastering the Flying Raijin. And it still takes a while. Like, Naruto's pretty much now a prodigy in his own right, but it would still take a while, because that is not an easy jutsu to learn. You only have 3 known people in canon who knew it. There's theoretically, Kushina maybe knew it. We knew she knew the Rasengan, because that's what Minato even developed the technique for her. But there's no evidence to suggest he actually knew it, but you could theorize she did. There's also some evidence to suggest she might have known it, but again, she was too weak to really use it during the attack on Konoha back all then. Excuse me. Even though she was able to use her chains. And so Naruto basically gets the Flying Raijin more or less down. However, the village, Pain attacks the village. Unfortunately, he winds up running into, it's like, Naruto, I'm looking for the 9 tails. It's like, you meant to which, some of the other villagers are attacking are dealing with the other paths. Sasuke, I think, joins Kakashi in dealing with the Deva path initially. They're still struggling against the Shinra Tensei, only for Naruto and Kushina to both step up. And so the real one is into which Naruto, extends his senses. He's in Sage mode. Even Kushina probably has Sage mode activated. They both extend their senses, and Naruto, because just of how much distance these guys have at this point with this, are able to actually pinpoint. His eyes kind of like go to the side, so that's where he is. Mom, I'm gonna head out. You can take care of this guy. Don't worry, honey, I got this. I'm afraid you won't be going anywhere, Naruto Uzumaki. Is that a fact? It just disappears. Sorry, you really. To which Kushina suddenly has chains activated. Kushina Uzumaki. By the way, see, I begged the question of if Kari knows she's an Uzumaki. I'm going to be straight out honest. I don't think Nagato knows he's an Uzumaki. Because the name alone, Naruto Uzumaki, That should, if he knew he was an Uzumaki, there should have been some sort of familial relation and, you know, trade back and forth there. But the fact is, there was nothing in the manga for it. Now maybe Kishimoto didn't think about it this way, but Kishimoto, Taikubo is Bleach. Yeah, Kishimoto. I'm thinking. I was about to say, is that or is that the Dragon Ball? No, that's Akira Toriyama. Kishimoto wasn't thinking about it, but when you think about it, yeah, if he actually straight out knows he's an Uzumaki, then Naruto being Naruto Uzumaki, that should raise some flags. This is why I also talk about Karin not knowing if she's actually, if like we never actually hear Karin say her full name. She never calls herself Karin Uzumaki. That's the thing about that. And that's not to say she isn't Karin Uzumaki or doesn't know she's an Uzumaki. I'm just saying there's some evidence to suggest that. Maybe they don't actually know. Remember, the Uzumaki were so spread out at that point and were in hiding that people who probably had kids maybe didn't let their kids know they were Uzumakis. So, yeah, yeah, I think it's possible Nagato straight out didn't know he was an Uzumaki. Anyway, though, Naruto is heading straight towards where he is. Now, granted, Naruto's only just learned the Flying Raijin, but he's still probably very proficient enough with it. But he doesn't, like, for example, I could see Kushina or Minato setting up seal tags all over the entire area of the Land of Fire to just be able to teleport to any specific one as long as you focus. Naruto, now there's probably not one exactly where Nagato is, but Naruto is kind of the closest one, then heads there. It's like, Naruto, Kushina Uzumaki. I see. So you're the one. And that's when all of a sudden all their eyes go kind of wide. What's the matter? What's the matter? Are you distracted by something? I see. That's where your son went. He found my real body. But it won't be enough. And so they try their fight. And so basically, Kushina's fighting the pains while Naruto's talking to Nagato. And unfortunately, this would really spread Nagato's attention. Mind you, it's all about multitasking. That's really what the paths of pains are. It's the ultimate multitask. He can see through all of them. Yeah, because it's one of those things that how you're able to see that many different things. I believe it's displayed kind of like viewing a large screen with different things at the same time. But yeah, think about that. That's a lot of like mental processing. Like you're taking so much information at once. Also, if he's smack talking at all, but if he's having a conversation with Kushina as well. But there's also the fact that he's got to strategize with these abilities as well. I think Kushina immediately takes the Azura path down and the human path down just with her chains alone. And then, splicing, chakra seals down there. Now, the Prana path is a bit more problematic. The Prana path absorbs chakra, and the sealing chains are chakra chains. So they're chains of chakra. So if they try to latch onto the Prana path, the Prana path probably could absorb them. And she quickly realizes that and goes for another method as well. She wraps her sage chakra around the chakra chains and just then slices them in half. She's then flying Raijin around the entire place. Keep in mind though, Damapath hasn't used the mass destruction Shinra Tensei at this point, so he still has Shinra Tensei. But the problem is with flying Raijin, she gotta get one hit on him and he's effed. One hit, that's it. And with a 5-second interval, with flying Raijin being instantaneous, I think she could take down the five pounds of pain, no problem, without ever actually going into Kyuubi mode. Meanwhile, Naruto is like, I see. So your mother took down every one of them on her own. The Uzumaki truly are impressive indeed. But at this range, Naruto, just tries to grab him, or just tries to shoot him. I'll have full control over it. And then but stops when he realizes he goes grab by a chakra chain. It's like, I'm sorry, what was that? You want this back? And he pretty much has the conversation he has with Nagato here. I don't have the answer, but if there's an answer, I will find it. I will walk over. I'm actually going to quote a little bit of Ichigo from Bleach here. It's like, if no matter what the future holds, I will walk. The future is like grains of sand. There's so many infinite ways to view it, but I'll step over each one of the, and I'm paraphrasing, mind you. I'll step over every one of those grains. I will be, and grains, and I will find a way, no matter what, because that is the wisdom my master imparted into me. And so ultimately, Nagato actually probably doesn't have to do too much for resurrecting people. Not too much anyway, but he probably does. He still uses Rin Rebirth to resurrect the few people that he's taken out, and gives his life. And so Conan and him are good. Conan, says thank you, Naruto Uzumaki, and takes Nagato's body back. Naruto, I don't know, Kushina is actually more of a hero than Naruto is, but Naruto still is the one who kind of dealt with the pain. So everyone's cheering. Hinata is so proud of him. She actually finally works up the courage to just give him a kiss, like a straight-on kiss. And Naruto's like, yeah. But trouble looms. Now, keep in mind, I always go under the idea that, yeah, Deidara is mismatched against Killer Bee, but you add Kisame and Killer Bee, Kisame and Deidara, who can, attack at range, all that. I do think that it makes sense to send them both after Killer Bee. Killer Bee still fakes his own death. Great. I think he also probably does take Deidara, probably with like a tail beast bomb wiping him out. But I think Kisame probably goes full on shark mode to deal with them. Or better yet, Deidara probably does, the final is it C0? Was that the one? The giant mass off explosion. And they find Killer Bee's body there. Kisame takes it back, only for it to be revealed that it is just a tentacle, and Kisame noped out of there. So with that, the Raikage would still announce the summit of the 5 Kages. He would still do that. And that's where we're going to leave part 14. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm not going to lie, we might actually finish this on Wednesday, because I got one more part to review, or to a video on. All right, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.